Welcome to today's Masterclass, and today we're going to be discussing arguably one of the most attractive shots in cricket, the cover drive. Now, I tried to sort of pull some strings and get Laura Wolfhard out here to explain the cover drive, but I'm stuck with Nasser Hussain instead today. Nasser, cover drive, is it maybe one of your favourite shots, do you think?
Absolutely. Probably my favourite shot, not just as a player, but also covering and watching the game. You cannot beat an exquisite cover drive. I played with Ian Bell. Ian Bell, when he, you could hear the crowd just ooh, and when the replay goes, the aesthetically pleasing cover drive from Ian Bell or Barbara Azam, or there's so many, Meg Lanning, Laura Wolfhard, the people who play a cover drive, for some reason, they make a very difficult shot look incredibly easy and so pleasing on the eye as well. Okay,
so you've got a youngster who wants to play the shot. They see it on TV, they want to play it. Well, break down the cover drive for me.
Well, a lot of it depends on the risk. If it's a massive swinging day, so Jimmy Anderson, 11, Lords, cloudy skies, he will want you cover driving. He'll throw it up there in 4 slips and a gully and go, you might hit one, you're going to nick the rest, I'll back myself. So it is a shot that when you get in and the ball stops moving a little bit, it is about getting to the pitch of the ball. I'll give you a good example of Shea Hope and getting that head transfer and the weight transfer going towards the ball. Sometimes you're off it because you're a little bit worried about pace, you're back and you're off it and you just drive like that without much feet. Feet aren't that important. I played with Marcus Trescothick. Marcus didn't move his feet much, but he had that transfer of weight. So he would just be here and then bang, cover drive. Whereas someone like Shea Hope does move his feet, and the closer you get to the ball, you can drive it beautifully. The other thing I always focus on in the cover drive is the knee. And it used to be my problem sometimes. I used to drive with a straight knee, and when you're a straight knee, your head is away from the ball. The moment you bend your knee, everything is closer to the ball.
How do you kind of stop that? If you want to now change that, you're talking about the bent knee, the straight knee, because I know you can kind of lock off and it becomes uncomfortable. So how do you get the sort of teach that? How do you drill that into kids?
Just come in here and if you drop that ball, you got that ball in front, just if you could just come like that and you just get a coach, obviously a bit of health and safety, and you just stand from a static basic position, drop the ball and drive it away. It's just a drill. Get your coach to come here and constantly drill yourself into doing that and transferring your weight and getting everything going forward. I repeat though, when you're playing a 90-mile-an-hour Kahiso Rabada's running in at you, you are not going to be like that playing the big cover drive. It's just going to be a little step and transfer of weight into the ball. The other thing I think is very important that is if it's swinging or not. So I'll give you a couple of examples of Barbara Azam. When it isn't swinging, your cover drive will be probably wide of mid-off, or as the shot defines itself, cover. When it's swinging away from you, Anderson's swinging it massively away from you. If you try and hit a ball that's going that way, through wide mid-off, you're in trouble. You have to go with the swing. So Barbara Azam, when the ball swings away from him, he will open up and go with the swing and hit through there. I'm always a little bit fearful of batters who hit a big outswinger trying to hit it. Zach Crawley at the moment's got a slight problem when the ball's swinging away. Zach is still trying to hit it straight, when in fact he should be trying to go with the swing in that direction.
We often talk about playing the ball under your eyes. If you're talking to someone who doesn't really know the game, it seems a little bit confusing at some points. Interception points, what are we talking about? Because I would imagine there's different places you can intercept the ball.
Yeah, I'd say the more it's doing, the closer you have to get to the ball. That's why sometimes, say you're in Australia or Kookaburra, you can see batters, it can be fairly sort of rigid and just like bang, bang through the line of the ball. And then you get to England, you cannot be robotic and just hit through the line of the ball. You have to intercept closer. Now that might be by standing out of your crease. Kohli, when he first came to England, Kohli was back in his crease and found him driving at balls and the ball's already moved. That last bit, the ball has swung and it's probably swung by that amount and you nick it. So what Kohli did was stand out of his crease, and we did a great Hawkeye in England of the interception points from one tour to the other. Kohli's interception points in 1 year was here. He came back 3 years later and his interception point was there. Why is that important? Because in that little period, the ball has swung that much and Anderson finds his outside edge.
Young kids watching the game, they want to look at maybe up to a couple of players. There's a few stars that stand out, but from a cover drive point of view, some of the best they might be looking out for and wanting to emulate?
Well, I've named Ian Bell. In the women's game, Lanning and Wolfart, absolutely beautiful, and it's even more pleasing on the eye because it is a touch game. KL Rahul, for someone that plays so much white ball cricket, I watch him a lot. Kane Williamson, again, someone who plays it right underneath him. I don't think there's any cricketer in the history of the game that's played the ball later than Kane Williamson. Joe Root, his cover drive and that open face that he gets going through the ball. But I'm going to be biased. I'm going to go, sorry Indian fans, but I'm going to go Babar Azam. I nearly went Kohli because I think Kohli is slightly different. Kohli has a bit more of a flick of the wrists of it. Babar Azam just has a lovely little, if I was teaching any young girl to watch, I'd ask her to watch Meg Lanning. If I'm teaching any young boy to watch a cover drive, I would say watch Babar Azam. Cover drive is not an easy shot, but some of the greats of the game make it look easy, and when they do, it is worth the money you've paid to watch the game.